Hi everyone, today is Tuesday, February 2nd. Today is Groundhog's Day, and here in Carrollton, I'm pretty sure that the groundhog did not see a shadow. I also have no idea what that actually means, whether we're going to have an early spring or a late spring, and I really don't know how accurate it is. It might be as accurate as some of our meteorologists, even though they are basing their predictions on a little more technology than groundhog and a shadow. But nonetheless, happy Groundhog's Day. Just a few updates about the class. Let me pull up the calendar real quick. We are here in Module 2, and this week you need to be working on Chapter 6 quiz. I did hear from some of you that Chapter 3 quiz had some problems with releasing of the scores, but I believe I have that corrected now. And if you have any problems like that in the future, let me know. I tried to go through all of the quizzes early on and make sure I had all of the settings the same, but obviously I missed one. So just let me know if you run into something that feels different or looks different or acts different, and I'll get in the system and see if I can't straighten it out. So this week you need to be working on your team project plan for the assignment. I spent a lot of time last week explaining that, so I won't do that again. As far as what you're supposed to be working on this week. I have heard from the other professors that are teaching this class right now that the Microsoft Office Microsoft Project 2016 is causing a few problems, so you may want to stick with the 2013 version of that. 2016, I don't understand completely what the issues were, but there were some problems with it, and 13 might be the safer route to go. So that's what you're supposed to be working on this week is Chapter 6 and Project 2. And I'll give you a little update on the grading. I am very sorry that I haven't finished the grading. Right now I've gotten 10 of the 30 essays graded for the workflow project. And it's just taken a while. Whenever you get yours, it's very individualized feedback that I give. And especially on the first project, I always take even a little more time to give feedback because I want you to understand what I'm looking for throughout the semester and the kind of thought that I want you to put into things. So if your grade is not what you like and you want to update your work, you'll have to email it to me. The system won't allow another submission, and even if it did, it wouldn't notify me that you had resubmitted something. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to email me at my West Georgia email, bprince@westga.edu, and let me know that you've updated your work and attach your work, and I will take a look at it and consider giving some credit back on your work. Most of you, it's not that anybody so far has done anything wrong, but you didn't completely work through the entire activity, is what I'm seeing for some of you. Some of you did, but some of you just explained the workflow without thinking through the covering your basis model, the CYB model, and the internal and external perspectives from people and processes. And some of you are not describing some of the possible improvements that you've seen or recommendations that you would make. So those are sort of the general feedback that I'm giving this time, and it's normal. Really, after the first activity, people get the idea of what I'm looking for and how complete I want it to be, and really pay more attention to the entire question to make sure that what you submit is actually the complete thought process that I wanted you to go through. So that's something to think about moving forward, is after you finish your project, back up from it, look at the question and look at your response and just ask yourself, okay, does my response answer the question? The reason for that is because sometimes when you're working on something, you get pigeonholed or siloed into your own train of thought. And you get going and you do great work on this one path, but there's more that you were supposed to consider. So you need to always kind of step back, not just in this class, but in your work projects. And as you're each step in the process, just back up, look at what was the original requirements, and okay, make sure I'm still on the right track. Because a little deviation in the beginning won't make that big of a difference. But if you continue down that deviated path, by the time you get to the end, you might have, you've heard the story, you climbed a really high ladder. You did a good job climbing the ladder. The only problem is the ladder was propped against the wrong wall. And that's what I don't want to have happen, is for you to write an excellent report, do a lot of work on it, and then not have answered the questions. So just think about that as you're working through things, especially with your team. When you're working on team projects, kind of have one person maybe that you designate to be the one to always bring everybody back if you do start going down a path of groupthink. So that's just a little bit of advice. Hope everybody's doing well, and I am going to continue to work through the grading on the workflow. Again, I apologize that I didn't get it back yesterday. I think it's very unprofessional of me for the first assignment to not get it graded and returned within the week's time, and I just didn't get it done. It's I can claim busy, but you're all busy too, and I just have to do a better job managing my time. For those of you that don't know, last July I took on a new role of being the Associate Dean in the College of Business here at West Georgia, and so my time is not nearly easy for me to control as it was before, and there's a lot of interruptions that come in the door, so I may schedule 3 hours to work on essays, which is what happened yesterday. I had 3 hours blocked off on my calendar to spend time going through essays, and I thought I could at least get through half of them or so. Well, not even an hour into it, there's an interruption, and then there's a call to go sit in on a meeting for the dean for 2 hours, so that completely knocked out my morning. You know what that's like, so you've all been there and done that. So just be patient with me, and I will give you feedback. And when I do give you feedback, it's not just simple feedback, it's something that I've thought through. That said, if what you did was absolutely perfect of what I was looking for, then I'm going to comment and say, this is great, good job, this is what I was looking for, and keep up the good work. You obviously got it on this one. I'm providing deeper feedback for those who didn't quite maybe understand all of the instructions. So I apologize for the long update here, but I hope you're doing well, and hope you have a good week, and let me know if you have any questions.